In 9c, we have the first of these definite integrals. So when we have a b and an a, or a number on top and bottom, it's a particular method that we use. We integrate. So I'll do this one first as an example. So it's going to become 6x squared over 2, which is equal to 3x squared plus c. Now I'll just put the c into this one, but you'll see what happens here. So we put in the 3. So we're going to get 3 by 3 squared plus c, and then it's minus the bottom one, 1, so 3 by 1 squared plus c. So we're going to get 27 plus c minus 3 minus c. So you can see what happens with the c's in these questions. They disappear, so you won't see me putting it in again. So just 24. So e to the power of x goes to e to the power of x. We write it like this, put it in a bracket. We have the natural log of 3 is 0. So e to the power of the natural log of 3 minus e to the power of 0. And we saw earlier this was equal to 3, so anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1, so we're going to get 2. dx over 9 minus x squared. Let's just go and check what this goes to. So it's going to be this one here, or is it the one at the bottom? Is it square root? It's square root. So 9 dx over the square root of 9 minus x squared. So it's going to be 3 squared. So the inverse sine of x over a. So this goes to the inverse sine of x over 3 between 3 and 3 over 2. So we have the inverse sine of 3 over 3 minus the inverse sine of 3 over 3 over 2. So that's going to be the 2 on top and the 3 on bottom. 6 over 3, which is 2. So we get the inverse sine of 1 minus the inverse sine of 2. And what angle gives us these? I'm just seeing I've made a mistake with this one. It's the inverse sine of x, which is the 3 over 2 divided by 3 over 1. So what will happen here is we'll end up with the inverse sine of 1 over 2. Now in terms of pi, the sine of 90 is equal to 1 pi over 2, and the sine of 30 is equal to a half. So that's pi over 6. So that's how we can simplify this. Pi over 2 minus pi over 3. 90 minus 30 is 60, or pi over 3 for number 3. Then we have sine x squared dx. So for sine squared x or cos squared x, we need to go to the formula booklet. Sine squared x is equal to this. So we're integrating a half, which we can actually factor out and put in here, times 1 minus cos 2x. What were the bands here? Pi over 4 to 0. Pi over 4, which is 45 to 0. So we have a half times the integral between pi over 4 and 0 of 1 minus cos 2x dx. So 1 goes to, I'll leave the half outside, 1 goes to x, cos goes to sine, so cos 2x goes to minus sine 2x, and then we'd have to multiply by the differentiated angle between pi over 4 and 0. So we have a half outside, and I'll put the half in front here in the next line. So we're going to have pi over 4 goes in for x minus a half times the sine of 2 pi over 4, which is 90. Sine of 90 is equal to 1. I'll put it as pi over 2 first. Actually, we need 2 brackets here, so that's the first bit. And then we have minus 0 goes in for x. And then we have the sine of 0. And actually, that's also 0, so that gives us no value. So we're going to have a half on the outside. On the inside, we have pi over 4 minus the sine of 90 is equal to 1, so we have minus a half. So that's going to be pi over 8 minus 1 over 4, or this is probably fully correct too.